I'm Pauline and I've lived in Kirkby since the 60s.
I'm Jean. I've lived in Kirkby for 50 years.
My name is Alice and I've lived in Kirkby since the 1950s.
And I'm Lee and I've lived in Kirkby since 1953.
Right, ladies, so which one of you four was the first to move into Kirkby?
My husband was one of the first to move into Kirkby. It was in the early 50s. There was no transport, nothing, just fields and a cocky watchman's hut.
So sort of, what was it like when you moved? How much further on did you move?
Well, I moved in not long after him, and you just had to walk, you were walking through muddy fields and paths. There was no shops, nothing like that.
So what did you do for things like food and, you know, entertainment? And
Well, he used to go to work on his bike, so he'd bring shopping in for us because of the kids. So you're more or less just stuck there until everything just started to moved on in dates.
So who's the next to move in?
I think I must have been.
Yeah.
And I was so thrilled to get this house. And I went in and there was my mother-in-law with me, my two children, my husband were on long distance drives both. And I spat on the floor and I said, I can do what I like in here. And my mother-in-law looked. I always remember that.
So how did you find sort of there not being much there at all?
Well, actually, I had a different place to live, you see, so I didn't have to move right away because we was managing another shop in Liverpool. And so I was living there and I used to come up till it was all right for us to move up into Kirkby. It was great.
So which one of you lovely ladies was the next to move into Kirkby?
When I moved into Kirkby, I moved into my own home. And we used to have mobiles in Kirkby, which we were grateful of the mobiles because if you never had enough money, he'd let us have trust. You know, and we used to go in and then pay him the next week and he never ever charged us no more. And then we just build myself up then. Used to get some second-hand furniture. Everything was second-hand when I started off. Down to a bed, washing machine. And then I'd build myself up for positivity and, you know, and I would never move out of Kirkby. I love it so much. The area that I'm in, we have trouble. We have problems, but I'd never move out of it. Even if I won the lottery, I'd still have my house in Tower Hill. Because I've got beautiful neighbours and we all help one another. You know, if someone wants a locked house, we'd knock at somebody, can you get through the window? I still have trust in people. And anyone where we live will tell you that, you know. I still have my front door open. Anyone's got a problem, they can come in. And it's still a good, friendly area.
Kind of community.
Yeah, it is lovely. That's why I don't think I'd like to move anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, because we're all,
yeah.
It's like where you were years and years ago, in the very, very old days when people were all together. You know, and that's where it's like where I live.
So would you say that it has sort of that community trust and that community spirit has carried on from when you first moved to now?
Yeah, it has.
Definitely say.
Yeah. We all trust one another. It's nice, as I said, if I won the lottery. Don't get me wrong, I'd buy a house somewhere so I can go for respite. You know, and I'd take a few of my neighbours with me. No, it's a lovely community.
So you were the next one of us?
Yeah, moved up in 69 to about 2-bedroom bottom flat. We had a mobile. There was a pub behind the flats. The Molyneux, still there now. And shops on the town centre. And shops up in Roughwood Drive.
So was the sort of town centre starting to develop by the time you moved,
Yeah.
Did you find that a lot easier then, having the sort of the closeness of the shops?
Yeah,
as opposed to having to just rely on the mobile?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's easier. We also had a laundress in Roughwood as well. There.
So how did you all sort of find bringing kids up in Kirkby? Was that an easy thing to do, with it being such a strong community, would you say?
I don't think it was easy.
Well, it's hard bringing kids up, isn't it? It's very hard. No one can say it's easy. and especially if you're a worrier and you do worry where they are, you know, you've just got to be a parent, haven't you, and look after your children, you know.
So would you say that the fact that you could rely on your neighbours to help and there was always someone there for you if you needed a babysitter, did that make bringing the kids up easier than maybe, you know,
I think so.
staying back in Liverpool?
Because it was
when-
because you could always rely on somebody to help you. I mean, it's a close-knit community, and everybody does. I mean, I've got a neighbour now, who lives next door to me, because I'm in a bungalow now, and they're there for me. I'm partially sighted, and they're there for me every morning and at evening. You know, it's a lovely community, isn't it, where I live, and everybody looks out for each other. So you know you've got somebody to rely on. You haven't just got your family, you've got your neighbours, and they're like friends, not really. They're like a close family, aren't they, really?
My neighbour, she's a friend, she brings my dinner over every Sunday.
Yeah, I get a dinner off past.
Our neighbours, it's when our own children were young, if somebody was late coming home from work or somewhere and the children would just come home from school, be always there, a neighbour would always bring them in. And even now, to this day, I've took a resident order of grandchildren and they keep an eye even on them, even, you know, and that's where our community is. We've all stuck with one another. You know, there's been no, just been lovely. You know, and that's why I said never move.
So just to sum up in, you know, a couple of sentences, what was Kirkby like when you first moved?
It was good. Good neighbours and made friends and everything. It was very good.
What did you think?
I think Kirkby's thrived to when I first moved in, you know, up here. But everybody's friendly. You can rely on everybody, and you've got, you know, I've never had any trouble from anybody really, from any neighbours. I haven't really had any trouble with the kids.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I love Kirkby. I'm the only one out of my family that lives in Kirkby, by the way. My son and daughter don't live in Kirkby, but I love it.
What did you say?
Yeah, I love Kirkby. I loved it when I first come up here into Kirkby because we'd coming from Liverpool, we had nothing, and we come up here to a lovely big market and everything was in it. You know, so yeah, lovely.
Brilliant.
Yes.